and you're very welcome back to Thursday's Morning Focus with Alan Morrissey. 0818 400 964 is the number to call. 086 1800 964 is our text and WhatsApp number. You can send us a voice note via WhatsApp if you prefer, or just drop an email to us. focus@clare.fm is the address to do that. Just to let you know, in terms of sport, a mouth-watering game in prospect this coming weekend on Saturday, and you can hear it all live on Clare FM. I am, of course, talking about the TUS Dr. Harty Cup semi-final, hurling semi-final between St. Flannan's College and St. Joseph's Secondary School in Tulla. That one throws in across the road from us here at Zimmer Biomet Park, Keysog, from 12:30 on Saturday afternoon, and you can hear every puck of the ball live on Clare FM, also on Clare FM, and on Morning Focus later on in this hour. You can hear our latest episode of Clare Women in Business, and we'll have plenty of music as well. We'll be chatting with Mel Mercier, who's going to be releasing the Tony-nominated multi-award winning composer who's releasing his new album, so we'll chat to him, and we'll be crossing over to the Far East to hear from Airfoil, the Japanese band fronted by Clareman, Bobby McMahon, who was in conversation with myself on In Profile yesterday. They're releasing their debut album tomorrow, so lots of excitement in their camp, I'm sure. So we'll have a chat with them in Japan a little later on in this hour. But joining us now is Dawn Bennett, owner of Cocolemon in Kilrush, who recently shared the difficult news that the much-loved local business will be closing its doors next month, following 6 years at the heart of the community. Cocolemon has been a place of friendship, fun and familiar faces for so many in Kilrush and beyond, and Dawn is with us now to talk about the journey, the memories and what this goodbye means for her team and the town. Dawn, thank you for making time for us this morning.
No problem. Thanks again, once again, for having me, Alan.
It's unfortunate, Dawn, that on this occasion you're joining us to discuss bad news. Can you talk to us about why you've been faced with no choice but to close Cocolemon?
We didn't deliberate on this. You know, it was a hard decision to make, Alan. But it's no longer viable for us to continue due to ever rising costs, really, operational costs. We'll say the rising rates, they've risen by a further 8%. The rising employment costs, minimum wage has gone up, pension fund scheme has now been established, the sick pay, holiday pay, and no assistance from the government to the employers. Like, in my view, Alan, West Clare should be exempt for the winter months on paying commercial tax, because, the footfall has dropped. They're touristy towns, and it's just making it harder and more expensive for business to stay open down here, for instance, in Kilkee, there's hardly any place that you can even get a cup of coffee at the moment, Alan, because they've closed from Monday to Thursday. Maybe they might open up just for the weekend, because, again, the cost of keeping it open it's just extortionate, and it's just they're going to be opening at a loss.
Yeah, we've spoken to so many businesses over the years, and particularly since the cost of living crisis became a big issue, and there's a lot of headaches for business owners to deal with. And now, of course, you've got the rise in minimum wage and the auto enrolment pension scheme, which is I think is very positive. And I'm sure business owners can see the positive, but also the negative for them and yourselves. But the
negative, I think, are people not paying PRSI for that? For this anyway? Is this now another way of government trying to get money? Or I don't know. I really don't understand it. But I don't see any returns on the rates in Kilrush. There's zero investment. Kilrush is a beautiful little town. It's the capital of West Clare, and it's a gorgeous marina down there. That it's not utilised. The likes of Kinsale down in County Cork is a thriving little town. A marina town. Like that. Carrigaholes, I don't know if you watched the Nationwide last night. The Irish college out there has just gone to rack and ruin, and absolutely no investment to try and get it up and running again. That was very popular back in the day, and now it's just it's an eyesore now at the moment.
Are you, Don? Are you worried that your hair salon closing, as you mentioned, it's difficult to get a cup of coffee? If there are any cafes out there in Kilrush, do get in touch and let us know. We'll put the word out there. But that a lovely place like Kilrush, could potentially, and I don't over-egg the pudding in this, but worries that it could become a ghost town because you can't reap the benefits of being by the water if you don't have anything to offer visitors.
Yes, exactly. The footfall has been reduced. I'm looking out my window here now today, and there's 3 vendors. It's a market town. There's 3 vendors out there, and absolutely no one on the streets walking around. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, there's nothing to bring people to Kilrush, as far as I can see. I don't know, the council, the elected councillors, TDs for Clare. They're not doing anything. There's no proactive incentive to bring people to Kilrush, if you like. For instance, when I ran for council in 2024, I was determined to try and get that Mars Cinema up and going so that like people can travel into Kilrush to go see a movie. There's nothing for children back here. Like, you know, if it's raining, forget it. You're stuck indoors and they're on iPads. There is absolutely nothing to do. Kilkee Waterworld got, I don't know how much funding last year, and they're closed for the winter as well. So there's no amenities at all.
And I suppose the long-term worry is no amenities means not only is it a big barrier to people, new people coming into the town, but ultimately it could lead to, you know, the children of today being the adults of tomorrow who decide that Kilrush isn't for them because there's nothing there for them and the children they want to raise, and that they move elsewhere.
This is exactly it, Alan. You know, I mean, as well, it's just like we say, like the money point. The employees there, like that would be Kilrush's main employees. I've heard that people that are employed in Money Point are going as far as Ennis to rent, as there's nowhere here to rent, you know, for accommodation for them. A hotel needs to be erected here. It's just such a pity because, like, you know, I think Cocolemon brought a vibrancy to Kilrush. It was an uplifting space that people could enjoy and come in and visit us. Maybe I'm being biased, but I just feel like that it was a positive business, you know. But unfortunately, again, like the VAT should have been reduced in the budget, but it's not being reduced till July. It's now we need it, like, you know. Let me break it down for your listeners. Like, we say if you were charging €20 for a wash and blow dry, 13.5% of that €20 is gone straight to the government on VAT. Then you have to pay your staff member for whatever, 45 minutes or as long as it takes, and you're also paying the energy. So where's the margin? There's nothing left. You know what I mean, Alan?
Yeah, there's a lot more kind of slices of the pie being taken from you. Let's go back to happier times, Dawn, when you opened Cocolemon. Say happier times, it had been 6 years. Opened in around, was just before COVID. I'm sure.
It was just after COVID.
Just after COVID. Was that a difficult decision? Maybe you've been planning obviously to open it before that, but then COVID comes along and do you think, oh God, this is a terrible time to be opening, but I've committed to this, let's just do it anyway?
Well, for me, Alan, I'll give you a history on it. When we moved to West Clare, as you know, I moved for schooling for my son. Again, now I'm fighting for the same reason for secondary school, as you already know. That's not in West Clare. But I think this salon came up for rent. And for me, as a carer, Alan, it just kind of gave me a new lease of life. You know, I was part of the community. I was out there and I didn't feel as much grief as just I'm a carer now and that's my life. Because I was hairdressing from a very young age. But, like, obviously, it did come as a blow when my son was diagnosed, you know, with autism, severe autism. And then when we saw this place up for rent, myself and my husband, we just decided to jump at it. There was free parking outside the door. You know, again, it's a tourist town, bustling and, you know, but I think the downturn from COVID is, and also now the government, like, you know, everything rising, the rising cost of everything. The consumer has no disposable income anymore, and it's just affecting, you know, it's like a domino effect. It's affecting the consumer, it's affecting the employers, everyone. So I just don't know where it's going to end, to be honest with you, you know.
I'm sure what adds to the sadness, Dawn, is
every minute of it.
Yeah, you've loved every minute of it, and I'm sure that's what makes it increasingly sad, because this has been an extremely positive 6 years. You've won awards along the way.
You know, 2 awards, Team of the Year. Yeah, we did with the Irish, the National Hairdressing Awards. You know, I'd love to know if other businesses in Kilrush are feeling the same pressure as I'm feeling. But, like, I mean, the lack of basic services alone here. I was in Spain for Christmas and I hadn't got my teeth cleaned in 6 years that I moved down here. I got my my teeth cleaned out in Spain, and to say that like I can't get a dentist back here in Kilrush because they're full. I don't have time to go to Limerick, you know what I mean, with my kids and running the business and whatever. I shouldn't have to. These services we're paying hard-earned taxes for, you know, and instead it's going to foreign countries. We're not seeing any return on anything. You know, it's like they're just really trying to, I don't know, like the small towns and villages of Ireland, like they're just on the decline, and there's no help coming.
Does it make it even more frustrating, Dawn, that some businesses will close because there just isn't the footfall? Maybe that, that is a part of it, but obviously operating costs, overheads are increasing. But when you shared the news on social media that Cocolemon would be closing, and for those who want to head along there and get their hair done before then, and I'm sure gift vouchers as well to be honoured, it's the 10th of February. I think you're closing the doors. The reaction, the reaction locally was huge. I'm sure that response meant a lot to you, but is it? Yeah. Is it frustrating to get a huge outpouring, but yet you have to close?
I have to, yeah. And I know we'll be missed. Maybe I'm being cocky, but I know we will, because people enjoyed the fun and the laugh over the years. We did bring this vibrancy, I think, in my view, to Kilrush, that people loved our space. They loved coming in and even hanging out or whatever, just to call in, because it uplifted their spirits,
So you said earlier on that this gave you another outlet, that you weren't just a carer. What I don't know if you've had time to think about what's next for you, Dawn, but are you worried that with no Cocolemon, that'll be how you'll be defined? Will you look for something else? Will you try another business, or do you feel your fingers have been burned by this experience and that it's not worth trying it again?
I won't, Alan. Look, as I've said, I've given it my all. I've loved every minute of it. My husband works away from Monday to Friday, so I'm a single mother, and also the pressure of Cocolemon, trying to raise my kids, one with special needs, and run a business, and like not seeing any benefits for running the business. There's just no point, Luckily, I'm at a stage now in my life where my husband is working and he's on good money, that I can actually take a step back, and just concentrate on the children for now.
Okay, well, look, commiserations on having to close a bit, your own business. I'm sure a source of pride, particularly winning those awards and being such an integral part of the local community, and particularly when you get that positive local reaction. It must be nice to know that the business meant a lot to people, which makes it even harder to be faced with the scenario where you close on the 10th of February. But look, Dawn, we appreciate you joining us.
Can I just take a moment, Alan, as well, to thank my amazing team, our Team Lemons, we call ourselves, and our amazing clients who've supported us over the years. From the bottom of my heart, we've had so much fun, and I'm going to miss you all.
Okay, Dawn, thank you so much for joining us once again on Morning Focus. Dawn Bennett there, the owner of Cocolemon, which is closing its doors for the reasons that Dawn has outlined on the 10th of next month.